Hello everyone and welcome to the ScratchRunning Podcast, the official podcast of competitive browser gaming, where our motto is, I missed it here. As always, I'm your host Kieran, and with me on the mic are the men.
The men?
Rend Heaven, Arcanus HD, Clabs, and our editor Apfelord.
It's another SRCast of me directly reacting to what Kieran is saying.
Reacting in real time to our motto. Yes.
It's a nice motto.
Hello everybody, hello Claps, hello Kieran, hello Arcanus HD, hello
Also
Rend
known
Heaven.
as AK.
Yeah, just call me AK.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm here. I just teleported here suddenly.
Where'd he come
Yeah,
from?
I actually put an ender pearl in your hand.
Nothing
Wow.
personnel, kid.
I almost called you AK from the popular Scratch account Arcanus HD.
Oh god.
Should have introduced him that way.
It's true,
Yeah.
it's true.
Sure.
And also Master Coder, and I mean both of you are honestly like stellar.
Really good programmers.
I think you mean all three of you.
Get out!
So, you ever play video games?
Everybody knows about Clabs being cool, but
Aw.
Yeah.
you know, we got to introduce some more people to
True.
to the list, and we have Arcanus HD, who you may know from having made a cool game called Homecome.
Homecoming.
Yeah, that's all he's
I
known for.
played that
Yes.
on Scratch Running. It's really,
Yeah,
it's
I
really,
mean,
really
not
good.
only that, which there's a pretty big one recently came out, and Rend Heaven, who
Rend Heaven.
I was just,
May have heard of this guy.
oh, please, you go, Rend Heaven.
Rend.
I'm just gonna say Rend from this point on. But
Why am I here?
what did you do?
Can I
don't know
call
what
him
did.
Racing Hans because his initials
Exactly.
are the exact same as hers?
It's true.
So I was this other scratcher, but then I decided to put on a new mask and make cloud games, and here I am.
Wow.
The cloud games are so good. But do we really only have one Scratch Running video with your games in?
Got two.
I feel like there should be more.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
We have two.
You did both simple
What's the second one?
RPGs.
We played Simple RPG 3 together, me and Nick.
Yeah.
And
that was
then,
good.
did we play Simple RPG 2 on the channel?
No, but you talked about
Who
it.
knows,
my bad.
man?
My bad.
Ah, okay. That's all cold coffee because what we got now is Monster Melee.
Monster Melee.
The big one. I'm gonna be
Monster
100%
Melee.
honest. I play Super Monster Melee.
Melee.
Wee!
Yes.
No, I definitely played more Monster Melee than I played Homecome. I'm sorry, AK, but
Oh no.
I've probably
no
played
offense
them
taken.
about equally.
Kieran's probably the one to talk about Homecome here
So,
today.
Homecome Creatures of the Night is the game of the year of 2020.
I thought it was.
Sorry, Rent.
No, I agree.
No, Monster
with him.
Melee was released in 2021. What are you talking about?
Oh, facts.
True.
One day
Yeah,
off.
Homecome Creatures of the Night is a video game about some guy called Twig who wakes up in the forest and moves to the right.
And occasionally to the left,
Ah,
Oh,
right.
A little
sometimes.
bit.
but really only for pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Ah,
Thrilling.
If you collect enough of the pieces of paper,
Oh, and also he
you
has
die.
difficulties dashing. He's very hard at dashing.
yeah, he gains
It's
a
not
dash.
his fault. It's Mousie's fault. Okay.
The flash gem just isn't that good.
so basically, you already said that
Yeah.
pretty well, Kieran. But to put it into, I mean, could
Yeah.
you call that? It's not a Metroidvania directly, right? It's more
No.
It's a
Um,
platformer.
It's a
Yes,
platform.
platforming RPG.
You have to go back one level to get pieces of paper sometimes.
Mm.
It's a Metroidvania, guys.
It's
Yeah.
a mini Metroidvania.
Oh,
yo.
you have
Yeah.
any backtrackers?
That's what I'm saying.
Basically, what makes this game so outstanding to me and probably all other people, it's the love that goes into it and the story and everything. Like, sure, it's not like, I mean, AK, you could probably talk more about how you came up with the story and everything and how
Yeah. The gameplay takes a bit getting used to. The story's
true, that's
alright.
true.
The soundtrack is just constant bangers.
Right.
Yeah?
I didn't even get to that.
Oh.
Soundtrack might just be the most amazing thing on Scratch. The most amazing soundtrack.
I think, in my opinion, the soundtrack is probably the best part of the game. That
Perhaps.
was the part that I actually spent more time than coding doing.
I think what makes this game for everybody is the package of everything being like polished and nothing feels out of place. Sure, like the gameplay maybe isn't that challenging in some places, but it's also on Scratch, right? You wanted to make it probably a little
Yeah.
more accessible and not you're not out here making the new Binding of Isaac for people.
Yeah.
At least this game doesn't have B-sides, then all the scratchers would complain in the comments.
Do you guys remember what those like Mario remakes that are really hard are called? Like Kaizo?
Kaizo Mario.
Those are like, well, are they hacks basically?
Yeah. What if someone made
Yeah.
like a Kaizo home comp?
Yo, I have
Maybe.
been thinking about making like some kind of remix of Homecoming
That'd be cool.
with just more levels. I need more of this guy's terrible air dash. I need more. I need more. I need more.
What if
Twig.
you made a remix but the dash actually worked?
Yo,
Oh, yo.
Make a remix where every time Twig runs into spikes or an enemy, he just goes all the way back to the
he
beginning.
dies,
of the-
wakes up in the forest, doesn't know who
no.
he is.
I love it. Also, characters, great character design and stuff, and they all have their little voice lines that they
Yeah.
say, and one of them.
we have
Very
our
iconic.
opinions about the voice lines.
We don't have opinions. We have memes about
Wonderful.
them.
Saddle up. Saddle up.
Wonderful.
How did you come up with those? Do you have like any scrapped ones we don't know? The world never saw.
I don't think I have any scrap ones. I use all of them. So the deal with making the voice lines was some text engines, they have like sounds associated with like printing out the
Ah.
letters. Yeah, typewriter
yeah.
engines.
Undertale.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that, but I felt like
Nah.
every time I put I put like a little blip of sound there, it just felt like a generic platform all of a sudden. So I was kind of inspired. Like, there's this series on YouTube. It's an Undertale fan fiction, not really, but it's by Camila Cuevas. You probably heard of it. It's Glitch Tale, and basically
it.
later in the series, like she has like full text boxes, right? But she makes the characters like say the first one or two words in said text box, and that was kind
so
of the
good.
thing I was going for.
Yeah.
Except I really didn't want to like take up all the asset space in my project just to like record the first word of every line in the game.
And
So I was
also
just like,
to have your friends in the studio for like 10 minutes.
yeah. So I had this system going where like you have 12 emotions, and then I made them record a voice line per emotion. Sometimes I would have it written out, and then sometimes I would,
Oh hey.
yeah.
Oh, hey.
Wonderful.
Wonderful
No,
was
I-
written
I-
out, by the way.
Yeah, that was in the script.
Nice. No, I can totally understand it, especially for like for Scratch. You can't really work with much more without like, going
Yeah.
too big with the project. But I feel like this little decision to give them, actual voice lines instead of the ooh.
Yes.
That added a lot of character.
You're just gonna get a
That's good.
ding in Gummelgert too. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Can I not record every single line for you?
Nick, if you are willing to do this, we have a deal. You gotta go on. You gotta do
Gotcha.
every
How many
character.
lines you
Now
got?
the
Klaus?
question is, if I ever hypothetically made a second Homecoming game, would I keep that style
Oh,
of
you better.
speech?
It's the classic.
You better.
You better. It's the classic. It's now a part of your canon. I would recommend add more
It will
voice
be
lines.
0
no-
out of 10. It will be 0 out of 10 if there's no wonderful. In it.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
exactly. You need to just make more.
Literally unplayable.
So it's a little
Actually,
less
yeah.
repetitive.
Wonderful makes it so worth it. That's why there's no skip cutscene button.
Yeah.
Wonderful is
can we get
unskippable.
voice lines for every single monster in Monster Melee. I know I'm kind of like jumping in topics here, but
Hey,
how's that looking?
if
Monster
it's
Melee
you
is a
doing
really
the
good game,
voice,
by the way.
I'm here for
That's
it.
that's what I'm saying. Get Nick on the call.
What should I do? Like a neigh for
Yeah.
for bubbles?
yeah.
Make sure
Bubbles
something's
is-
bubbly.
Bubbles
though.
is
no.
Yeah.
I feel like
great
Bubbles
bubbly name.
might be part of the reason Longshot costs so many skill points.
Now so I don't want to skip or jump between topics, but these are just
These
two
are
great games we have
Yeah.
to talk about today.
So good.
These are our two main
I mean,
topics.
what
we
if
can kind of go back.
what if I just showed you like the emotion list, and then you guys just like came up with your own Homecoming voice lines?
I love it.
Yes.
There
Go on,
is-
go on.
Let's go down
in
the
the
line.
comments of the
Kieran
banter
first.
engine.
I go second. Nick third.
All right, I gotta find the list.
Is this
Also, I'm
part
gonna
of
get
the,
rid of this blanket because it's like getting all over my face.
Hold on, I'm
Okay,
going
sure.
on Scratch.
AK's using
You
a
left
blanket.
the
Put
list
another
in the-
sock on the mic.
Yeah. We're trying to deafen the echo.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Also, no. That's gonna be the new wonderful. Or can you make can you have a German character or like a and they just say wunderbar?
Yo, what nationality is Alberto?
Nick, what if you just translate the whole game and you do every voice?
I found it.
Oh.
Wunderbar.
I found it.
love it.
Sutlin oop.
Okay. Figure stuff out. So
All
you
right,
have your
you're
list of
on your neutral.
emotions. Number 1 is neutral.
What character
That
is
was
this?
where
so
Twig
good.
said like, "Oh hey," or Mousy said, "Howdy."
Are these
All 12 of my lines would just be.
I was also gonna go for a
My happy would be Wimmers.
Wimmers.
You gotta put in "That's what I'm saying" at some point.
That's what I'm saying.
Classic collapse moment.
That's what I'm saying is like
Confident.
confident is that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Pain.
I mean, we're kind of skipping over these.
Well,
but, my happy or laughing would just happy would probably be me laughing, and laughing would probably be me just like wheezing over here.
Yes.
Okay, so like you have like a haha, and then you have like a.
Yes.
Nick
Yes.
is giggly.
Pretty much.
The man likes to laugh,
I'm a giggly man.
Wonderful.
and I respect that.
Okay,
that's not
Giggly
putting you down.
Gurgleson.
Okay, now that was putting
Okay,
me down. That was
Goomble
too
Gurts.
far.
No, mad would be like. No, that's the problem though. You don't really have like
Has to be a
even in
catchphrase.
Homecoming, you did it really well. You don't have that's.
You
not
don't really
catchphrase,
have
it's
like
just,
grr.
I tried to
way.
give voice lines like as characterly bonding as possible. So like Mousy would always
Yeah.
have like the Wild West cowboy sort of deal.
Yeah. What was your idea for can't believe I've got the bird
Ruby?
bird's name.
Ruby?
Burb. What do you mean? It's just called Burb.
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 Yeah.
Okay, Ruby. Yeah.
So what was Ruby's like thing you were going for? Like a
So I told my voice actor, who's also an IRL friend of mine.
This is a
I
bird.
told her to say like, "Oh, go for like a British noble accent,"
Oh, true.
and she was like, "I
predicted
suck
that in
at
the
British
video.
noble accents." I'm like, "Whatever, I don't care."
I remember saying in the video, "Is Ruby British?"
see, there you go. That's good.
And she recorded the first thing, and she was like, "This sounds Australian." I'm like, "I don't care. It's going to work."
Actually,
And so
Let's
she just
go.
like did the rest of it, and yeah, that's how I got stuff for Ruby. Fun fact:
Wonderful.
Ruby's voice actor is also the same voice actor who voices Myrtle from my Meta series.
Wow.
So,
that's cool. Okay, hold on.
yeah.
I do have a question though. Is Wonderful the happy?
Wonderful is the happy.
Oh, she's just
Okay.
happy a lot. Okay, what's her neutral?
Her neutral is, gosh, I can't do it.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
her little
Nice.
tweet.
Man, to talk more about like the game itself, I don't know how tired people are of us like doing voice lines of this, but I feel like this game really sets a high bar for new RPGs coming out on Scratch. It's like or a new what do you call it?
It's not like traditionally an RPG, but it still feels like.
Yeah, it's so
The trailer says it's a story-driven platformer, which is kind of
Right.
true.
and while it is like not very punishing, it's not a game that's very sending you back to the start of the game. Like
Good
Yeah.
checkpoints.
some
You
roguelike.
gotta hit me with some good checkpoints.
I think the fights still can be very fun.
The
Some
fights
kind
are a
of-
bit long,
some of the boss fights really
but they're
sometimes
hype.
drag on, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're hype. Especially the last one. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who's still for the two people out there who haven't
Right.
played it. But,
So my favorite sound in the entire game, fun fact, is the final boss's big fat laser.
oh
Ah, yeah.
yes,
Beep, 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 pew.
That is that, and this is just another fun little tidbit. Yeah, that's my favorite sound in the game.
that's a good sound.
I thought it
Yeah,
was.
it's
It's a
good.
very
Good
good sound.
I thought it was very brave to
That's
put
just
Master Hand
World
from
of
Smash
Light.
Bros as the final boss of your game.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
I thought that was an
I can't
interesting
believe you
choice.
just put in Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi was an
Yo.
interesting character too. I thought,
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess that kind of goes.
I like
with
the
it.
second playthrough with Luigi.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. When you
No, I-
collect all of the pages, it says you can now play as Luigi.
Yep. In the whole game, he rewrote all the dialogue to contain Luigi. He has his own neutral.
Instead of oh hey, you have Yahoo.
I fe-
It's
sound design is so important in a game, man.
true.
I
It's
know,
like-
like
True.
There's
I play a lot of games on Scratch, and like they're good
Mm-hmm.
and all, but sometimes the sound design's just off for me.
Sometimes the default sound effects
Or not there at all.
ruin it.
Like you make a hurt sound, and it's just like a person going or but there's no like punch or like anything, and it just sounds like they're not actually getting hurt. It
Right.
sounds-
You see AK in the studio with the voice actor for Ruby would just like pull up some fisticuffs and start punching the voice actor to make them really sound really hurt, put some more punch into it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not saying wonderful hard enough. Ugh.
Wonderful.
And that's how you got the genuine
how
sound.
wonderful is this?
That's the genuine sound.
Rent, how much have you thought about a sound design in Monster Melee?
Yo,
like how
not
much
at all. I'm not gonna lie. Basically, there's a generic attack sound, which you're gonna it's punchy, but you're gonna
It's
hear
good.
that for everybody.
That's a good sound, we'll say.
What, you doing magic attack? You doing a bubble attack? You doing a normal attack? Doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
Everyone
It's
gets
all-
punched. No discrimination.
Everyone just
Nick
gets
has a
punched.
lot of attack sounds in Taranga, I will say that.
I did try to find one for every different animation type of attack.
You did good.
I mean, I think my goal for the full version, which we can talk about later maybe, but is to make more sounds myself. AK, did you find those, like, or did you make those yourself, or
The sounds.
like the
most-
sound effects, not like the voice? Yeah.
Yeah, most of the sounds I used for Homecome, like, there's a good portion of them that I had to record on my own. Like, I have a bunch of, like, random items in my closet. Don't ask me why. I'm kind of guilty for being kind of a hoarder. But I have, like, these random items in my closet, right? And just, like, go up to my microphone, just, like, hit them together, and they make cool sounds.
Yo. That's just step
Yeah,
one of sound
that's how I
design.
That's how I get some of my sounds. The other part is, I just ripped straight from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's how I got a lot of sounds for Genesis Rebels Crossover Combat as well. I decided to like try and use less sounds from SSBU this time round.
As soon as the Canopy Walker got stunned, I thought, oh, we just broke its shield.
Oh,
That's a
I-
shield
that's how I
break.
that's
the
how I
same
made the
thing.
that's how I made the big fat laser sound. I just took like the payload card explosion sound, and then combined that with the freaking pyro guitar taunt.
Nice.
Ren, did you make the music for Monster Melee?
Of course not, dude.
Oh, well, I
Listen,
wasn't
I
sure if we
credit
got like Arc
everything.
to help with it.
I credit everything, so I'm very proud of
okay.
that, actually. And AK, you're a beast also with crediting. But
It's true.
besides that, yeah, I stole all the music from Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, it does
Yeah.
sound Fire
I
Emblem.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's in the credits
Good
of
music.
the project
Good
Monster
music.
Melee, which you can check out in the SRCast mentioned projects studio.
I love how the credits in Ren's games are mostly, or I don't know. You put a lot of weight on the people who worked on on the game with you, which I can understand, by the way, absolutely. But like after every single game, it tells you, hey, subscribe, right? Yeah. Follow Ambora and follow Kneebones.
You
There
used
are-
to
which
get
is-
4 whole seconds
to be
of that
fair,
forced in your face
in a
after
lot of
whether or not you
work.
lose or win.
I
or
kept that in
disconnect.
I kept that in my remix because I was like, I'm just gonna keep that, even though they didn't make any of the art in my version.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, Goomble
They still
Melee.
deserve-
That one was good.
Do they chat you up and say like, oh, holy smokes, this gave me like, how many follows does that get them actually? Like, how much of a spike in follows? Because I see on their profiles like people comment on it about it, like they say, hey, really nice art on this and blah blah.
Looks like you've been stalking.
Wow, yeah.
I don't know
Nick.
what you mean.
Well, I've noticed
I don't
they've
wanna
got
talk
about
about it.
like 20 to 30 followers maybe each, which is pretty nice.
Oh wow, that's less than I thought.
You
honestly.
really don't get a lot of followers on Scratch, depending.
No, you know,
on
hey, you know why?
things you
It's
make.
because when I tell people to do something in my Scratch project, people don't do it because it takes effort to look up someone's profile picture and then click the follow button. You'll notice
true,
this
right.
with a lot of. This is just like a social media principle. Like you have to really tell people to do stuff, or else they won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the same amount of followers from Goomblgurt1 that I got from Astro just following me. It's like all of that effort was equivalent. It's
Man,
like, wow,
that's
I don't know how I
painful.
feel about that.
Oh no.
You get a single comment from Griffpatch, and that gets you more followers than the
It's
entire
true.
rest of the SRcast.
The one love we got from Griffpatch kind of like blew it all out of the water.
Yeah.
Nothing. Also, the fuzzy animation he made.
Yeah,
the
that-
fuzzies animation
that
he
was
made for
good.
us. That one was big. Yeah, it's funny how social media works in these cases.
Actually, that's a great topic, I think. But before that, I just want to ask AK, did you mean to make me cry when you made those credit scenes?
Aww.
No, I didn't think they were really emotional at all, except for just the music.
What a response! What a response
I
from
know.
AK.
What? I don't mean to make things sad. I just like playing with people's emotions.
Bruh, you literally had the soft piano.
Don't
Like
don't
the
spoil.
soft piano together
Thank
with
you for
like
playing Homecoming.
the pages slowly like revealing the past. Come on.
Yeah.
That
Don't
guy,
spoil it though.
I feel like
No
that would
spoilers.
come across as like sort of a rushed ending. And I was like, I might elaborate this on a future project, but like it's not supposed to be sad at all. It's supposed to give you hope.
I thought
Imagine
the
going
most
to
rushed part was Alberto, but besides that, I think we're chilling.
the worst
imagine,
part definitely
going
was
to
right
your
after the final boss.
to your
we'll say.
hero and telling your hero that they made you cry, and then they say, you weren't supposed to cry.
You were supposed to cry. You're just a crybaby.
Oh no, what do you mean?
You like meet your idol, and they're like, "What were you, baby?"
What are you, baby? I wasn't supposed to
I
cry.
don't
I was
know,
a
man.
rush
You should just
ending.
play this game again.
Okay, so this will sound like a cut, but I just kind of am bad at segmenting or segwaying. What the?
Yeah.
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
That's your segue sound.
That's
What?
I make it myself. It's like, whoosh. All right, everybody, let's talk about Monster Melee. Thank you for joining us today on the SRCast.
There's another guy
no.
here who made a Scratch game, Rend Heaven,
Yeah.
Yeah, give it
I
up for
feel
Rent
like-
Heaven.
with Monster Melee.
Let's get a lot of claps in here so I get confused while editing. Please. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Oh my
There's-
gosh, it's Racing Hans, my favorite Scratch gaming.
Yeah, it's
Everyone knows
Man.
RH stands for Rhythm
horses.
Heaven.
So that's true. First of all,
Yeah.
Sorry, Rend. But while Homecome is such a rounded off game, like everything great credits, blah 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 blah.
Such a good
I feel like,
platformer.
and this is not to say Monster Melee is bad in any way. Monster Melee is an amazing game, but I feel like Monster Melee is strictly let's get to the
Yup.
this is gameplay the game.
The meat and bones.
Well, that is sometimes
The-
a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You went for the and I don't know, Slay the Spire.
It do be a board
does
game.
still, yeah. But you went for the Slay the Spire approach, where, okay, you know what? Now that I think about it, the game does have great art made by really cool people. But the main, your main focus on this game was gameplay, right?
Yep. Do you guys
I
know
respect it.
Pokemon Showdown?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yo.
I've tried it once.
Yo, Clabs, do you wanna tell them about Pokemon Showdown?
Yeah, sure. It's pretty fun. It's basically like, okay, do you play Pokemon for the story? Be honest. No.
Let's be real.
You don't
No.
play it for the
I mean,
story.
some people maybe do,
Okay, if
but
you
I
play
don't.
it for the story.
Only black and white. The other
Yeah,
ones.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if
My
you play it for
main-
the story,
my
play
main
another
thing
game,
to do in
right?
Pokemon is just random encounters.
Right. I mean, that's fun, right? But the main fun part of it is either breeding and raising Pokemon or fighting
It's
other
the-
people. And
It's the
so
battles.
Showdown is just fighting. It's just you make your team, you go in and you battle, and you get all that fluff. out
What
of
does
it.
that sound like, boys?
That sounds like Monster Melee.
Sounds like Monster Melee to me.
Yeah, so you can see I was inspired by. I was like, okay, let's have Pokemon Showdown on Scratch, but instead of Pokemon mechanics, what if it was just Fire Emblem?
It's awesome. It's great. It's
Yeah.
it's
It's
perfect.
great. It's like Fire Emblem,
we-
but better.
But even less anime.
Even less anime.
Even less anime.
I will say Vantage kind of breaks the entire game. It kind of breaks
Now
the
we're getting into the
entire
now we're
balance.
getting into the topic. We did talk about Monster Melee before. I feel, or not only I feel. I think we.
No, we
probably
actually did.
because-
But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
before the
we
game
were
came
hyped
out.
for it because it looked so similar to Fringe of Forces, but oh man, it is different. It is
It does.
It is close, but no, not close. It's like related, but it's
It's like two
Cousins.
different
Very
types of
different.
chess. It's like
The main difference is really that two people can have the same monsters. There's no elements.
True.
Skills. Skills are a really big thing.
So while to make a comparison, while maybe you have your in Fringe of Forces you have your classes, like maybe in a game like Hearthstone where you pick a class and you can only pick those things. In Monster Melee it's more like Magic the Gathering, maybe, where you have like different elements or the different things to choose from, and you can combine them how you want and maybe like get new strategies out of it.
It's a lot more like building a Pokemon team where you just have to.
Oh yeah.
What I like to have in my team is coverage. You gotta have a special attacker. You gotta have a ranged attacker. You gotta have at least one air fighter.
Also, before we say anything else, this game is cloud based.
Online multiplayer on scratch.mit.edu.
Yo, that brings a whole new element of pain for the creators. Well, I'm sure AK
True.
knows, because everyone plays your game for like 3 weeks, and then once the
Yeah.
22nd day rolls around, everyone's
Yeah.
gone. Poof, vanished.
Yeah.
And actually,
And then
I
the
think we
comment
just hit
section is
that
just
like
anybody on.
yesterday. Honestly.
Really?
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, I know. Dang.
you know what? Okay, I'd like to say a couple things. At that point, you really got to encourage people to just seek out their friends and like ask them to play and organize times to play. Honestly, I think you would really benefit from just letting people queue forever. Like, let people queue up for like 20 minutes, and so they can just do other things while they're queued up. And if someone joins in the meantime, then they'll get the notification, and then they can start the fight. That way, you don't have to
They're on the
consciously
toilet, and they're
keep
like, oh, what?
Only problem
refreshing.
is apparently Rend has a problem with people tabbing out. Like that's just a Scratch thing, apparently.
Oh.
Scratch is weird in these cases. Like Scratch is not really optimized for cloud, multiplayer. We know that, but man, you took good advantage of the tools you had.
Yeah, and I've noticed a lot of
there's-
weird things with cloud. Like what Kieran meant by tabbing out, by the way, is like if you're on a cloud page and then you switch to a different tab, and your new tab is like covering the old one, like they're part of the same window. But yeah, the cloud gets really wonky and like it gets horrific. It gets horrific. If you want to be on a different tab while like running the cloud game in the background, you have to separate the windows. At least that's what I've noticed in my own testing. And there's like a lot of weird like small rules like that you wouldn't know unless you had to make a cloud game yourself.
I guess you could write that in the
A
project.
similar thing happens with tabbing out in Google games where they just pause.
Oh, I wonder if they do that to like reduce
Yeah.
or put too much of a strain on the servers by
Opening like
Yeah.
8
tabs at the
tabs.
same time and like
It's dumb though because you could just separate the windows and then you're fine. So
Yeah. But
I
how
don't know
many
what
windows
that's
can you
about.
really separate until and operate at the same time, right?
True.
Maybe it doesn't make
So
all that
I,
much sense.
I would
now
just
think about
be
it.
like, Rend, put that in the project. Say, hey, Alt tab. This will go on like forever. Make sure it's a separate
No, less
window.
like it's less Alt tab, more
Yeah.
Control tab.
You're also giving Scratchers a lot of credit here. What I've
I
noticed,
know,
I'm stalking the cloud log on my own project quite frequently. People are there for like 20 seconds tops,
I know,
and then they just
I know.
vanish
Yep.
when they don't find anyone.
Well, that's
That's
because they have
just
to
the
keep
thing.
clicking. It's kind of annoying to keep clicking, honestly. It's like you,
Maybe,
you have to
but-
babysit the project if you want to play with somebody if it's like low activity times. Like you just have to like keep it open, have a video up on your phone, and
Yeah.
like click, click, click. I do think
That's the thing with the attention span.
I think it would benefit from just having long times to queue because there are other video games where if people play a MOBA, they're willing to queue up for like 5 minutes. They wouldn't be
mean,
willing
Any
to
Awesome Notes
repeatedly queue
players.
Yeah, I feel like if there's like a way to like automatically requeue like the updater did in his new game, Super Tower Tumble.
Oh, that game's
Yeah.
like good. I played it once and I just pillared up, nobody interrupted me, and I won. I feel like the cloud may or may not be broken.
The game would probably get it on Turbo Warp.
There's actually me and my friends were kind of like messing around in Tower Tumble, and we had the greatest idea of turning on turbo mode.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did it actually help?
Yes. It was like the game didn't stop us.
Turbo mode. Oh no.
Oh no.
And then the updater found out and he was like, no, not allowed anymore.
I mean,
Anyways,
Clabs
back
has
to
a story.
Monster Man.
Yeah. No, Clabs has a thing with turbo mode where we once broke his game by just enabling.
Yeah, we beat his game in
we
one
got the high
frame,
score.
so that was fun.
I had to invent. I looked up a turbo detector and it failed me, so I had to invent one. And I was like, oh my
Dang.
gosh.
Yeah, what we use on the ed menu to get around turbo mode is we have a sound. We have a sound that's a frame long, and it's just, please wait this many frames.
I am
and it just
like,
plays
don't
the
tell
sound.
this. Maybe I'll edit it out, but I am planning to reduce the spam penalty
Yeah, you should let
on
people spam
ad
a
menu
little more.
because
Maybe
I-
maybe
at first,
instead of
I-
increasing it by 10, you just set it to 10.
yeah, I think that's fair. There's like
It's like if you farm the spam quotes for too long, you just don't get to do emotes again.
I maybe like overestimated how many people. Maybe at that time it was different, but how many people would actually emote
Yeah.
and
Like, speaking of emotes,
Mm-hmm.
we next episode there might be 2 more.
Yep. One from the winner of the contest, obviously, and one just because
One
they always
one
come
just
in.
because of the cloud system we use. We have to
Yep.
add them in 2s, and we were thinking of doing one anyway.
Yeah. So here we are. Monster Melee. Sorry.
Monster Melee
one
is
thing
such a good
I
video
definitely
game.
wanna say, and this will forever be one of my favorite memories of being on this server ever, probably. The day Monster Melee came out, the day you released it, Ren, we were hyped as heck for that. And
I stayed
just,
up for
like,
the midnight release.
We started out in the voice chat here and just like started talking about it and playing it and like figuring out what the heck was happening in this game.
True.
And I like at the start, and I believe this is still the case with most people playing the game like for the first time. They don't really know what the skills do or that you can even set skills. And we were like slowly figuring out, and even more people join. At some point we were like 12 people in the call, all playing Monster Melee against each other. The servers were full and everything. It was so much
I think
fun.
Scratch Running on its own overtook the entire Monster Melee servers.
It might have, yeah.
When it first came out, that's actually when I knew I wanted to remix it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna freshly paint this whole thing. Just give me a few days.
Nice.
It was so good. Rend, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank
you for that memory.
Hey, you guys are free to do
midnight
that
release.
monthly as a tradition.
Yeah, the midnight release
Love
of
it.
Monster Melee.
Monster Melee Mondays.
But can we
I
play
love it.
Goomble Melee sometimes?
Sure.
What if we did?
We will play some Goomball Melee.
I
Yeah.
basically just like re-edited all the characters.
No, I know. I heard about
We
it.
should
Alright,
make
but
more Monster Melee content, and then there'll always be a reminder to play the game.
Monster Melee Mondays. I love it.
Yo.
Let's go. I mean, needless to say, the monster designs made by Ambora and Kneebones, really, really cool. Unique, like really unique monsters to choose from. There's a million different things you can do in that game and different strategies to go for. A million might be a little, over exaggerating, but I hope there might honestly be. I don't know.
Close.
Have you ever done the math?
No.
Rend?
It's like 12 to the power of 3 or something.
Someone who's good at math, Quake.
Right.
I'm not.
I'll get it real
Basically infinite possibilities.
quick. Race.
I just want to say there's like for everybody who likes games with lots of lots of technical skill
Lots
and
of
lots
options.
of lots of options. That's the game
Yeah.
for you. And it's online. Get a friend, play with them
really
online.
good.
It's
There you
How many
go.
monsters
Lot of
are
fun.
there?
How many monsters?
What?
Currently there are 17. There's going to be 18 next week.
I think there's 130 million potential combinations. But that is not recursive though, so that's not necessarily accurate.
Oh, I wasn't sure if we should already reveal that there will be crossover.
Yes,
okay,
that
you
is
know what?
correct. Monster World monsters will be creeping into Monster Melee, and then maybe Monster
Nice.
Melee monsters will be creeping into Monster World.
Ooh.
AKA, I mean, it's still Monster World officially. I mean, for me, it's kind of been Taranga for a while now, but
Taranga.
yeah, the game's still Monster World on
Monster World on Scratch is a preview of what's to come.
yeah.
Oh.
Also, Monster World just recently got an update. Why am I talking about that game again? Okay,
Yes.
good claps. You go.
I have
Draft
a
mode.
couple
Check it
things.
out. It's in the SRCast mentioned project. You already know.
All right,
Yeah.
Ren, we have you cornered. You're on the cast. I need you to tell us what is the Monster Melee lore, and if you don't have one, you better improvise it right now.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is gonna be good.
Okay. Well, you see, this is some deeply thought lore actually. And
Ooh.
well, so what the deal is that basically there's this kid, right? And he's asleep and he's
I already like
dreaming.
this.
And he goes, "I wish Pokemon were real." But then Nintendo came along and said, "No. And he goes, "Dang it. I got to invent my own Pokemon." And then he makes as a cat, I believe. And then he also makes Bubbles. And with all of these new creations,
These aren't
he
Pokemon.
gets trapped in his dream world.
So-
And then he goes, "Okay, listen.
Oh.
It's fine. I'll just battle my way out of the dream." And then, And then
Uh-huh.
by the way, this is all credit to Logic Mage, aka Lego Man 24 on Scratch.
Yo, he's a Scratch runner.
I'm half making this up, but like I swear he actually came up with this.
Okay.
at some
Okay.
point. I'm kind
Yo.
of butchering it though. But there was
Yeah,
like a kid with a
that's
dream,
good.
and then like the monsters were the figment of his imagination or something. But listen, that's where the battle comes in. You gotta battle your way out of the dream.
This kid's
Melee.
dangerous. This kid's. I don't know
Yo.
if this kid should ever be allowed in society again.
This is
He's gonna make
this
some
is
monsters.
actually like such a depthful story because like the kid is like trying to fight his own creations in order to escape back into reality.
There
Yeah.
you go. You got
Like
it,
he's
man.
trying to accept the fact that like you can't just have it always your way or
Yo,
something.
yo, and it's
no,
symbolic.
I
Can't
get it, I
always
get it.
have a Pokemon.
I'm not an English doctor.
It's
I like it.
symbolic
This is,
because like you turn on the game, right, and then you start playing and you're like, well, where's the kid? And then you have to, it takes a few seconds for it to hit you that you're the kid.
Oh.
You, the Scratcher
Scratchers
reading
and their
this.
imagination. Okay, and then the second thing I
So-
wanted to say is, can we discuss some Monster Melee meta and strategies?
Yo,
Ooh.
tell me
Honestly,
about
sure.
the tell me about Pivot Mischief.
Can I,
Mischief
can I
sucks.
just say this is we have Pokemon at home, the game.
No, we have Monster
have Fire
Melee at
Emblem at
home,
home.
and then they bring out
We have
Pokemon.
Fringe of Forces at home.
I love it. I love it.
Well,
This is the new iteration of Fossil Fighters.
True.
you know that I stole I stole AK's tier list maker, and
Yes, you did.
I did, and I made everything Monster Melee people, and then everyone kind of went off on that project. And I think they're all wrong, but I don't know if that's worth talking about.
Rend, I like your meme team. I actually won with your meme team once.
I don't know if we can go through like the deepest, meta, because people listening to this might just like not,
They
maybe skip a segment or two.
they
But,
might end up stealing our team.
What is your favorite? Let's start at the top. What's your favorite monster in Monster Melee and why? AK, let's go.
Have you played Monster Melee?
Oh,
I have not played Monster
Alright, let's go
Melee
back to
yet. That's
Kieran.
the embarrassing thing. Hold on, let me just play it real quick.
No, let's
like,
get Kieran.
crash course.
Just from the names, Mischief, as a cat, or Bubbles.
I like Bubbles.
All right.
Okay,
Bad
thank you.
Bubbles is a cool guy.
Yo, Bubbles goes crazy.
Karen?
Bubbles is OP.
If you put long shot on Bubbles,
I mean, what if we just fool everyone and just say like the worst monsters?
Lettucey boy.
You like the
Lettucey
lettuce?
boy.
You
I
ever
gave
play
lettuce like
Lettuce?
plus 90 health in Goomball Melee.
Yeah, that was questionable.
Well,
Lettuce,
no one uses
kinda
him
nice.
anyway, so it's still, you
Kinda
still don't
good.
use him.
Oh gosh, this is much worse than I thought. Like I had loved and favorited Monster Melee because I thought it was a cool idea and I just wanted to give it clout, but I never actually played the game.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's
that's
all right.
fan.
It's all right. You
I'm
can go
such a
play it right now
humble
and match
person.
with nobody.
I'm just gonna play it right now real quick.
Oh boy.
Ah.
Let's all go and like have a no. Okay, Karen. So your favorite is who's your
Mischief.
favorite monster?
Yeah, Mischief
Mischief
is
is
my
good.
main like combat
Yeah.
guy.
Sorry, Karen. That's C tier officially now. Okay.
The official,
Klebs, go on.
the official Rent Heaven tier list.
A Pan used to be my favorite. It used to be a very interesting unit. Very
Oh,
weak,
yes.
but
I have
very
never
strong.
played as Pan.
Ultimate kind of changes your positioning game up a little bit. Pan is useless. Pan's garbage. It's the worst character.
Now-
I'd say
now
it's
Pan is
definitely the
useless.
worst. It's definitely the worst character in the game. I would say Chimera is probably my favorite now.
Chimera is nice.
My favorite, like this might not even be the best, but just Bubbles has helped me out in so many situations. I don't think I was
True.
ever unhappy to have Bubbles on my team.
Bubbles is the MVP.
That's why for the thumbnail I put Bubbles on there. For one, because I wanted people to have a monster in the thumbnail that they would actually
Be able to use.
be able to use immediately, right? So they saw Bubbles on the thumbnail and they could associate that with that. But also because I just love Bubbles. I'm sorry, Rent. I didn't
Bubbles.
tell you, but now I.
Yo, why are you
now
sorry?
We
love your
Everyone
decisions.
uses it.
Rent. So your favorite or your best?
Wow, I don't think I have a favorite,
As a
but
cat.
I do like Chimera as well. I'm with
Yeah, he's
Class.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fun. I like him.
I will say Cosmos. Cosmos the space duck is my best friend.
Space Duck is good.
All my homies love space duck.
I also love Mischief just because of the extra movement stuff.
Yeah,
It is fun. I gave Bubbles a gun in my version of the game.
good. Bubbles deserves a gun.
For the neutral special, Bubbles wields a gun.
I feel like Twig from Homecoming should have a gun.
Agree.
Home gun.
It's the legendary gun of light.
Home gun. I mean, it would make sense if Mousy had one.
True.
Yeah.
Ah.
I
True.
almost gave Mousy a gun, but not like a gun, but like, like a witch pistol gun.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't think Scratch will like that, so I just turned it into a slingshot instead.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a callback to the older Homecoming game.
I'm sure they would have been fine. There's a lot of games with guns on Scratch. There's
I
no
don't know, but,
violence.
like,
You just don't want it
Yeah.
to be gratuitous.
If it gets
If
super
I can
popular,
make 2 projects about Krunker and still somehow get views, I'm sure you can give a mouse a gun.
I do think they will like literally refuse to get the project featured on the front page if there's any like violence in
Yeah.
it whatsoever.
Like it had
You
its.
don't-
Or no, maybe not that.
Mm.
Maybe they will just not feature it.
It's just no violence. You just don't
'Cause
want
it-
like super violent
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like any kind of like I know that Super Fighter Tournament was turned down.
Still hasn't been featured.
I mean, it shouldn't. at this point, never. But there's like some weird restrictions
Weird.
on that.
Well, in any case, Kraken and Bubbles has a gun in my version.
That's
Nice.
good. Kraken makes absolutely. Kraken should have a sniper.
U.S. trained sniper.
I
Yeah,
gave
Kraken
him
should have sniper.
tiny little sunglasses too and a big coat.
I'm fighting all like 11 on Scratch.
Oh, are you playing Monster Melee now?
I am playing
AK.
Monster Melee.
Pog, and
AK
you, the
is-
viewer, should also be playing Monster Melee.
Yes.
Maybe even while you're listening to this, just like do it like AK does.
It's true.
And
This is background audio.
Oh yeah,
So-
and Rend, I would like to
Oh, yeah.
put a monster in Goombel if you would tell me.
Hey, I always
that's
want
fun.
you to pick your favorite guy and put it in Goombel. Especially
Okay.
because your
I do
art goes
put in
crazy.
all of them.
I do think that Inky is an oil type Goomble.
Oh, absolutely.
yo, speaking of Goombel, I don't know if this was your segue.
It
but,
was not.
Now it's mine. How are things looking?
It's going good. I'm getting close to finishing combat. I had to do a bunch of stuff with
Nice.
switching Goombels. Like if you throw out a Goombel and it died to the equivalent of stealth rocks, I needed to
Yeah.
figure
Oh,
out if
he's
the round
Goombling.
continued or if it just reset. I still haven't really figured that out. I think it's just gonna reset the round.
Let me tell you, that's a problem I struggled with a lot in my game, and that's why I redid the whole like code for that for the full version now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, making a turn-based game is easy enough, but all the more cool features you add, the more like it becomes a classic case of, you know, you fix one bug, but then this house of cards breaks down because you took out like one little thing and
Right.
everything was
Yeah.
based on.
But like
I-
all my
it's a-
homies
it's a
love
big
cool
problem.
features.
I need to make
I've
it
never
so
cheered
it,
against cool features.
it like checks for your death, but it doesn't necessarily let you switch every time, or else it'll check for death, let you switch, and if you die, it'll become a recursive function where then within
yeah.
this method, it'll then check for death again. And
Oh,
like
man.
I don't know if Scratch is gonna have problems with that, so I'm trying to make some edge cases where that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you do have to hard code some stuff, and that's just how it goes at
Yeah.
that point. If you like
Yep.
nobody, unless you do it like a million times, and nobody can like think of all these edge cases from the start
Oh yeah.
and build the thing from the start up
And, like,
so that it doesn't.
There's 150-ish Goombels now because I have holiday Goombels and I now added some like Zodiac Goombels, which I have not. They're
Okay.
not publicly released, but you can all know they're out there right now. And so all of them are almost like competitively viable because they all have very balanced stats. So I have
Nice.
to keep ensuring I don't like mess something up. But once the framework is finished, it'll be really easy to actually code all like 150 plus because I don't need to add anything. I just need to basically use the code I made.
Yeah. So you just kind of make the engine for it, and then you just
Because I
expand
have
upon
like
that.
6 different status effect types, and I can just mix them together. I can make it so at the start of your turn, you gain HP, but you lose magic. And when you use a magic attack, it reduces the opponent's defense. It's like, I can, all that's already in the game, so I just need to add that to the move list.
That's perfect.
That's kind of Komodo hype.
It is kind of Komodo hype.
Can't
It's
say-
kind of
we can't say
Wimmers.
PogChamp anymore. It's kind of Wimmers. Wimmers
Yeah,
is the
that's
better
kind of SR Wimmers. Any SR Wimmers, go
Yeah.
click on the Ed menu. He probably has something nice to say.
one. When will that streaming website get SR Wimmers as the daily PogChamp?
That's what I'm
Yo.
saying.
So, do we have any Q&A, Kieran?
Oh, we do. It's been a while since we
Let
checked
me
the
make this
SRCast
bad
Q&A
segue.
box.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, 2 months, right?
Yeah.
How have y'all been doing over Christmas and New Year's?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
been good.
Good.
How exciting was that?
It was kind of pog.
Yo, I just like one-shot a dude.
During Christmas?
Do you have
This
Ultron
guy
Command?
gets it. I mean, my birthday's in 2 days, so I'm kind of excited about that.
That's true. Let's go. When you hear this, Kieran will probably already have had his birthday.
I'll
and
be
please leave
18.
a happy birthday, Kieran, in the comments. And
That's so
an
many
SR
years.
Wimmers emote in this segment, please.
The first question comes from Gravity Floats.
No, Chimera.
Oh, you playing Monster Melee.
AK
I'm sorry.
out here disrespecting the...
I'm sorry.
You will just
I mean,
hear
it's fine.
AK.
Monster Melee is a good game, but our first SRcast question of the new year comes from Gravity Floats, and it says, "What motivates you to record and not just lay in bed and not show up?" I mean, for me, it's that I'm here with my friends.
Exactly.
I love my
It doesn't
friends,
feel
and
like
I love
work.
the ScratchRunning Podcast.
It only feels like work when I'm editing.
Mm.
No, but this, like the recording and even the editing, honestly, it's a lot of fun re-listening to that. It's just like hanging out with friends, like a friend saying,
So good.
"Yo, let's get some food and play some Smash Bros."
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
It's also why
It's nice.
we don't have people on the cast that we don't like or we're not like super good friends with.
True.
It's
Exactly.
Big
because you
true.
want to hang out with your friends. You don't want to hang out with like a famous
You want to
person
hang out
who's
with
not very
a
cool or
creator.
nice to you.
That's why we always get to know someone before we add them to the whitelist. We did that for Rend. We did that for AK. We did that for everyone, didn't we?
Except Shale. No, I'm kidding.
No, we did that with Shale. We did voice
But the
chat.
way Shale entered this whole like place was by calling us cowards, and I respect that.
That explains a lot.
We are still cowards.
Have me on the podcast,
Yeah.
cowards.
That will not work for anyone else ever again.
Nope. So yeah, I don't know. What motivates us to record? Kieran, what is it for you? Because you have been streaming for a while now, and
Yeah.
I chatted you up about this.
Yeah,
recently,
most of the
but
motivation that keeps me streaming is that I actually get viewers and I entertain
Oh,
them.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like
sometimes, like even sometimes,
That's
you
part
know,
of the
sometimes you don't get a
experience.
lot of viewers, and sometimes like the stream can't be like
Yeah.
some streams just
sometimes
don't, you know,
sometimes the stream's
off.
dry and I lose the first game of the night and I'm like really burnt out. But then people
Ah.
start rolling in and it's like, yeah, this is fine actually. And then I
So
keep
it's-
on
so
streaming.
It's, nice. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
So that kind of keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
And I can understand like some people get like demotivated if their projects on Scratch or whatever are not you know, getting the traction they hoped for. But sometimes Kieran has been streaming for what how long now?
I've been streaming since April 2020. So
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of just stream for
Yeah.
like 4 people or maybe
Yeah,
even less. And
sometimes that's enough.
That happens. It's a grind.
my subscriber badge in my own chat is 6 months. So
Dang.
that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I have a badge for
Komodo hike.
Kieran actually because I was one of the first subscribers.
Oh, you got
Same,
the first.
same. AK, how's your game doing? How's your
I
Monster Melody
won.
doing?
Oh,
Nice.
SR Wimmers in
Wimmers.
modes, please. Let's
go.
Let's get one last question.
All right.
One really. This is just one we can. I don't know if anybody of us can answer this. I'm trying to animate 3D right now. Any suggestions?
Blender.
Man, I have no clue.
Blender.
I have no clue.
Watch some Blender tutorials. Learn how to make like a teapot. Learn how to make.
Get yourself
like
a default
some-
cube and like move it around.
Yeah,
Who
learn
knows?
learn how to optimize your polygons.
Now, what you want to use is the Crunker engine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Use the
just
what
Crunker
I'm
editor
talking
to
about.
make your own browser games.
there's a lot of great tutorials on how to use Blender, and that will be a great start if you want to get to 3D animation. It is free software. And
Yeah.
if the
Blender's
UI is a
free.
little
That's
complicated at
cool.
first, but if you learn where everything is, you get some key binds, you're gonna have a great time using Blender.
You always like Blender is no Scratch. Let's not like fool ourselves, but it is a really cool like. And at this point, there's probably so many tutorials out there and everything. It's a really cool starting point. I did hear though that it's like very because it's open source and everything, and it's been around for a while. It's very different to other like, for example, paid animation 3D animation programs.
That
So
might be true.
the jump from that to others might be a little tough, but you can the things some people can do with Blender alone is incredible.
Right, and
Like,
since
you can
it's open source, people have made so many add-ons, and there's so many forums
Yeah.
with people explaining how to use it that you can go far with Blender. It is true though, if you want to have like a job for like Disney or Pixar, you're probably better off learning how to storyboard first and do traditional animation, and then you're gonna want to get some sort of internship using their software because it is going to be very different.
So this was asked by Simbus the Banished, and I wish you lots of good luck with that, and don't give up. But it's a big mountain, one hill at a time. All right. So that was it for the SRCast.
That was
the new
episode
season.
number 21 of the ScratchRunning Podcast.
I don't even know why we call it a season. Honestly, it's like
It's like we took a break. We like had a
Yeah.
thing to end the season with SRCast animated.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
And when we add the emotes, the UI is probably going to have to change a little bit.
we'll be fine.
Thank you all for listening. As always, check out the stuff we talked about and the wonderful people in this podcast.
Wonderful.
In the notes and credits to the right. And leave comments and leave emotes and leave.
No, don't leave.
I mean, after this, you can absolutely leave.
You
Just
can-
don't stay on this website forever.
Yeah.
Go play Goomba Melee. It's the better Monster Melee.
Go play Homecoming
Bruh.
Creatures of the Night if somehow you haven't already.
Look out for more stuff. I've been working on my game on and off.
Yo, give Abfalord some love. Leave him some
Yeah.
wimmers and some comments.
Yes.
Give that man some wimmers. All right.
Okay, you can give me a wimmers, but like don't overwork
Yeah,
yourself.
come on.
Yeah, don't overwin.
Yeah, come on.
Don't overwhelm yourself.
Don't overwhelm.
All right.
It's serious.
So that was episode 21 of the Scratch Running Podcast. I've been Kieran,
The man,
the man,
the myth.
the main
Yeah.
man.
You no longer Kieran.
I am Kieran.
No way.
No, he is. He's Kieran.
I've been Kieran this whole time.
Yeah, didn't you hear him?
I've been Kieran this whole for how many?
Okay, we're
years
dragging
now?
on. Let's go.
18. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
This
sorry.
is the Scratch Running
uh,
Podcast. I've been Kieran, Ktrav258 Travis.
Oh, who else is in here? AK Clabs, app and Ren.
Yeah. And the
Ren.
recording has now stopped.